Okay, hi everybody. How's everybody doing today? Happy Friday Eve, and welcome to Tipping Point Media's presentation. Let me share my screen. Going to go really quick. I'm going to introduce ourselves, and then hope everybody can see my screen here. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some examples. So real quick, what I'm going to let me go back some here. Hold on, sorry. Skip that for the sake of time. So my name is William Gardner. I'm the Chief Creative Officer and President of Tipping Point Media. What I'm going to show you today are some examples of the work that we do. We pride ourselves on innovative technologies, and we do a lot in the pharmaceutical, biotech, colleges, medical device, science-related industries, and we're powered by innovation. That's something we take a lot of pride in. And over 17 years, we've been developing the most cutting-edge forms of education. And nowadays it happens to be the VR, the AR, the MR, web AR. So I'm going to show you some examples of that today and how we've been building that since the inception. Since Oculus was in Kickstarter, we were one of the original investors. That's how early we've been developing virtual reality and augmented reality before that. Our entire team is comprised of over 40 in-house VR programmers, 3D animators. Some of our 3D animators are medically certified. We have instructional designers that develop all of our adult learning. And, we even have PhD designers. But everything that we develop at Tipping Point Media is done here in-house. Now, I have a couple QR codes here, too. You can scan those. If you wanted to learn more, you have access to our Vimeo. Our Vimeo portfolio has got a wealth of different learning topics that we've done over the last 3 years on VR, educational resources, and then of course we have demos of all of our products. So if you want to learn more, feel free to just search for Tipping Point Media, and you'll find all of our work there. Just over the last 3 years, we've had over 60 awards. We just recently, over the summer, won the Excellent Awards for L10. We also got Inc. 5000 fastest growing company in America. And then for the third year in a row, we won a Brandon Hall Gold Award. And just yesterday, we found out that we won 2 Hermes Awards for our virtual brand experience and our augmented reality sales simulator. So what I'm going to show you guys now is just a quick little demo of some of the work that we do. And I'll speak to this, but you'll be able to find this on our website. If you want to learn more or share this with anybody, feel free. But here's an example of our virtual brand experience, and this is something we built that works on everything. It's essentially technology or hardware agnostic. It runs on the iPhone, Android, also works in the Oculus Quest 2 headset. And what this is to do is to build a virtual world to replace the live trade show booths that we're doing a lot of now and bring customers into the experience with you. So you can be one-on-one with the customer. Here's an example of how we built an entire virtual ophthalmologist office. And inside this office, you get to become the doctor. You can go through their slit lamp, travel into the eye. We've also built experiences where you become a micro version of a doctor and you're traveling through the human body, making diagnoses around what certain patients are suffering from. So it's very hands-on, learn by doing. You're taking biopsies and samples. This is something that we did, and this is called a mechanism of action. And that's a term they use in science, and this happens to be around oncology, where you're studying about how the spread of cancer happens inside the body. Here's another example of an MOA, where you're going through, and it's gamified, and you have to be the product and remove the disease from the body. We're also building a number of simulations where you become the patient, and you're working through this firsthand, and you're feeling what it's like to have some of these ailments that these patients go through and how to deal with that. And what we do is we're trying to build that empathetic perspective. So you're learning by doing again, and this experiential form of better understanding. Instead of just reading about it in a more didactic form, you're physically doing it. So another version of something really cool that we did, and I'm sure many of you have heard of this, is a virtual reality escape room, where we've taken escape rooms and we've turned it into our own virtual one, where you could have multiple players around the world interacting and engaging with each other and collaborating to help solve these problems all while in the same room. It really feels like they're in the same room, but all these people could be in different countries in the world. And this all happens via the Oculus Quest 2 also. But we also have a version of that that works on the iPad. So we do a number of other things too, where we're bringing you down to the cellular level here in this example. And we also build in other parts into our systems too, where we have video that we do a lot of. And this is a tool called branching logic. And what branching logic is an instructional design theory of where you're making decisions, and based on how you make those decisions dictates how the story plays out. Now, we build that into all of our learning, specifically around our augmented reality, virtual reality. We can also do it with video too. And it just makes it a much more experiential form of engaging your learning. This is an example of something that we did recently for one of our clients, and it's somebody suffering with digestion issues and the probiotics and how it's helping these students perform better. And it's all inside this virtual reality experience where you become the person. We also build scavenger hunts. So this is done in 3D. We also have augmented reality scavenger hunts that we've built for a number of our clients, specifically in large events or virtual events. We do a number of medical simulations to where you're going inside, and this is actually teaching surgeons and doctors how certain medical devices work inside the body, and they get to learn via these tools. For instance, here, this is a valve replacement, and we build an entire tool that it lets you experience that. And another example here is a virtual surgery where the doctor has to perform the surgery in order to graduate the course and collect his credits, or CME credits as they're called. Here's an example of our portfolio, and you can find this in the App Store if you just search for Tipping Point Media. We have 4 apps in there. This one you can download the poster to and print it out. You can even print it out in black and white, and it's fine. And you get a complete portfolio of all the capabilities that we're building in augmented reality. As you can see, the shirt I'm wearing right now, that is a whole augmented reality component to where it looks like you're seeing inside the body. And here's our augmented reality scavenger hunt that I just mentioned, where we have all these different posters that can be hidden throughout locations. And your job is to go to these different posters and solve these problems that these posters are presenting, ultimately to help understand a subject matter. In this one, it happened to be around multiple sclerosis. This is some of the tools that we're doing now inside of hospitals, to where any kind of HCP or staff can go up to these posters and learn how to use certain machinery inside the hospital. And this is a monitoring device that Neon Coded has developed. We've also made these beautiful pictures for doctors' waiting rooms, to where it's this beautiful ballerina dancing. And then once you go up in augmented reality, you can see into her body. We also are building a lot of virtual reality where we're using, or augmented reality, where we're using SLAM tracking. And what that does is you scan your entire room just using your iPad or iPhone or Android, and it then will transport your room into another world. So as you're looking through your iPhone and iPad, it really feels like you've been transported and just converted your room into another location. I'll show you some more examples of that in a moment, how we're doing it specifically now with Web AR. And what Web AR is, it allows you to use it via the browser on your phone and not have to download an app. And I'll show you that momentarily. We're also doing a lot of gamification, all educational based, in VR, in AR. This is an experience here where you're learning around macular degeneration, and you're going down to the cellular level inside the eye, and your job here is to work along the sides of these rods and cones inside the eye, and you're removing drusen. And what drusen is dead cells that don't get removed, ultimately resulting in macular degeneration. And this is to teach any HCP how to utilize that. And then one of the big things we have is, how do you track it all? How do you manage it? How do you organize all of it? Well, we have our own custom built tool we call the Campus, where you can log in and it monitors everybody's head device, iPads, and shows how they're being tracked and measured, their scoring, tracks all their behaviors, and really has a great way for anybody administrating VR, AR, how to go in and track and measure all of that. So let me just show you something else here. So for the sake of time, it looks like I got 6 minutes. I'm just going to go right to one more thing, but there's plenty of this. All of these you can go and watch demos via on Vimeo if you go into that. But here's what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you our augmented reality in the browser. And this is for one of the customers that we're building it for right now. And it's to help teach them about how IBD, irritable bowel syndrome, works inside the body. And this is working from a perspective of a child who, and we built this whole animation and the story. It's really beautifully done. And it's talking about this kid from a very personal level named Kevin, and going through all of his challenges he's had, trying to find out if he has Crohn's or ulcer colitis. But at the end, what we also have is a very clinical aspect of it to show you how this is happening inside the body. So this is where they are. So you don't have to download a browser. You simply just click the link and automatically it starts scanning your room, and it will place an object right there in the room with you. So it looks like this colon and large intestines is right there in the room with you, and you can move it around. You can go walk around it from 360 degrees. You can click and interact with it. It has all these different interactive components, because we're big believers here at Tipping Point Media that you learn best by doing. You learn best through experience. So everything we build is not didactic. It has a very hands-on, three-dimensional, there's audio, video, kinesthetic treatments to every learning aspect that we build. So as you can see here, it's showing the inflammation and what's causing the Crohn's or ulcer colitis. And you can explore that. You can physically go inside and see it from all different angles. But we're building this for a number of companies right now on multiple levels. And if you wanted to learn more about that, of course, you can click the link and view it. But here you go. Here's some quick little links. If you guys wanted to scan those QR codes and check them out, feel free. And I think we are out of time. Wow, that went really quick. But, oh, thank you very much. Well, holy smokes, I got a lot of questions.